Traditional interviewing is effective, but I think it's becoming less so over the years. In the 15 years I've worked in recruitment, I know that candidates are a lot more savvy now about the typical questions they're going to be asked at interview. And therefore people are better prepared. I think recruiters also better prepare candidates for interviews. So there's a danger for some employers that the answers they're getting are scripted, rehearsed, and not necessarily the true reflection of the candidate. So I'm not advising that clients shouldn't use traditional interviewing. What we would recommend though is that they try to incorporate other techniques as part of that selection process. So for example, we believe for junior appointments, an assessment day is a great way of identifying talent, not just people who can say the right things, but through the assessment day, they'll get to observe them displaying the behaviours and the qualities that they're looking for. You can develop exercises that test the natural skills and ability to do the elements of the job that you're going to hire them for. So assessment days are fantastic. I've changed my opinion on psychometric testing quite a lot, having come from a background where I felt that I'll sit down with somebody, I'll figure out what makes this person tick myself. And I think a lot of people see psychometric testing as replacing the need for the individual to make the assessments. And we would urge clients to use this as a tool that enhances the selection process instead of replacing the traditional interview. So we use an organisation, and we offer free psychometric testing for all of our clients, so that if they're interested in understanding more about the behavioural qualities or characteristics the candidates have, they can be tested against those. And in addition to that, we also supply an interview guide that asks specific questions that will further confirm or show that the person's natural behaviours are perhaps different to what you think they are. Getting people to spend half a day on site, I think, can have a lot of value for both the candidate and the client. So although that can obviously add more time into the kind of selection process, but hopefully the more time that's put in at the early stages will minimise any sort of wasted time if the appointment turns out to not be successful. So inviting somebody in to spend a day in the office or a half day, if you can, get out, get a candidate out on a client visit with you so that they can see how you work, and if they choose to come and work for you, then they've done that with their eyes sort of fully open as to what to expect. So where possible is to actually spend time with the people, showing them how you do things or seeing how they do things can lead to better long-term appointments. For certain positions, role plays can be a great tool. I think naturally most people would see those better suited to perhaps more entry-level or sort of junior sort of roles, as they may feel it's inappropriate to ask somebody with 8 or 9 years experience to do a role play. And I could understand that, and I think sometimes it's how those role plays are positioned and the rationale behind why they're doing them. Candidates are really well rehearsed now. They know what questions are going to be asked of them when they go for interviews. I mean, we talk about them being sort of cliche questions, and they're cliches because they're so popular and so many people ask them. But in a way, they've lost their effectiveness.